Now we've seen them all over the internet, all over Facebook, and if you've tried them, you know how good they taste. But they're very simple to make at home, so get ready for a video on how to make those mouth-watering macaroni and cheese Cheerios. G'day, welcome to Todd's Kitchen. This seems to be all the craze at the moment. I've seen it all over the TV and the internet. Now we don't have them here in Australia, but I've seen them in the States and I'm going to recreate them. So join me today as I make my version of mac and cheese Cheetos. Okay, so we're going to make the macaroni the old-fashioned way, but honestly the better way. Now you can buy that pre-packaged stuff from the shops if you like, but honestly making your own just tastes so much better. So to start off with, I have a pot on the stove and I've just brought it up to a rolling boil. So to that I'm going to add in 200 grams of our macaroni pasta, and that should take about 8 minutes to cook. So check it at the 8-minute mark. If it's al dente, which is not too hard, not too soft, take it straight off the heat and drain all the liquid. Now while our macaroni pasta is cooking away, I have a second pot on the stove on a medium heat. So to that I'm just going to add in 50 grams of butter and just let this melt down over the medium heat. Okay, so our butter is now completely melted. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in 50 grams of regular plain flour. And we're just going to quickly mix that through. And we're just going to cook it over this medium heat for just a couple of minutes, just to get sort of like a slightly brownish color. And what this will do is this A, helps thickens up the sauce, and B, by cooking it over like this, it also removes that floury taste. So it is necessary to use the flour, but don't worry, you won't taste it because we're just going to cook that taste out. But just make sure you just keep on using a spatula here and just keep moving it around, otherwise it will burn. Okay, so as you can see, it is now just starting to brown just a little bit. We don't want it to brown too much. That means it's cooked through nicely. So now we're just going to slowly pour in 1.5 cups of milk. And just keep on stirring for a further, say, 4 to 5 minutes, just until there's no lumps left and it's cooked all the way through, and you have a nice smooth consistency. Okay, so I've had this cooking away for about 5 minutes now, and as you can see, it is now thickened up nicely. You can just see the way it parts like that. So now I'm going to turn the heat off, and we're going to take it off the heat. Now with it off the heat, I'm going to add in 1.5 cups of cheddar cheese. And we're just going to mix this through for another, say, 1 to 2 minutes, just until the cheese is completely melted. Okay, now with our cheese nicely melted, last thing we have to do is pour in our drained macaroni and simply mix it through till it's well combined. Now at this point, this is where we serve it up so we'd have a lovely macaroni and cheese recipe. But what we're going to do now, we're going to let this cool down for at least half an hour, because we want this to be nice and cool to handle with our hands. So simply just cover it up, just so nothing goes hard and no bugs get on it, but just let it cool down for at least half an hour. Okay, so for this next step, it's optional, but I highly recommend it that you wear gloves because they can get rather messy. So we're just going to basically form the shapes of the Cheetos that you'd like. Now you can make them round, you can make them long. Honestly, the shape is completely up to you on how you do it, but I'm just going to do it the standard way. So just grab a small amount at a time and try and compact it as much as you can, and just keep on going until you've made as many as you'd like. And once you've made up as many as you can, or as many as you like of course, simply place them into the freezer for about a good hour to freeze up. Now next we're going to need our Cheetos. Now the ones in Australia aren't exactly the same as the ones in the US. I can't find the exact same type, but they all taste very similar. This just happens to be a cheese and bacon flavour, so well honestly it's even better. But regardless of the type of Cheetos you use, it's still going to be fantastic. So just get the ones that are available in your country. Now for this, it's best to use a food processor, because if you're just going to smash them, they're going to get like very hard and gluggy. You want more like a fine powder consistency. So just place a couple of cups worth into a food processor and process them until they're nice and fine. Okay, so next I have a single egg in a bowl. So to that I'm going to add in half a cup of milk and just give it a quick whisk to combine. Okay, so the next stage is pretty simple. We have our macaronis here that we've just taken out of the freezer. So I'm just going to dip them in some flour. Now just say about a cup of flour should be more than enough. Dip in the flour, then we're going to dip it in our milk and egg wash and coat it in our Cheerio mix. And all you have to do is just simply continue on doing it exactly the same way until you've coated up all of your macaronis. Now once they're all coated, just simply place them into the freezer while we heat up the oil. Now finally I'm going to use a deep fryer. Now if you have a deep fryer, use it. But if you're confident in deep frying in a pot, then go for that too. I just find this a lot easier because it controls the temperature for you. So you want the temperature at about 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So just place our macaroni Cheerios, say about 2 at a time. And we're going to fry them away for about 3 minutes. That should be just enough time to cook them on the inside, outside, so we get that nice gooey inside of the macaroni, but the crunchy Cheerios taste and texture on the outside. Okay, so it's been about 3 minutes now, so we're just going to pull them up, let them drain for a few seconds. Then once drained, just take them off and just place them on some paper towel to drain off the excess oil. And just continue on until you've done all of your macaroni and Cheerios. And there we have those deliciously deep fried macaroni and cheese Cheerios. Definitely not a staple of every night, I'll guarantee that, but as a treat once in a while, honestly, they are fantastic. Macaroni and cheese by itself already tastes fantastic, but when it's coated in those lovely Cheerios, it really does take it up to the next level. Definitely not a very healthy recipe, but your taste buds are going to love it. And you know why? Because these deep fried macaroni and cheese Cheerios taste simply delish. And if you do make them, do me a huge favor, put them up on Instagram and hashtag Todd's Kitchen. So thank you for watching this episode of Todd's Kitchen. As always, I'll leave a list of ingredients down below as well as links to my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Home Handy Hints channel. And please do me a massive favour by giving this video a big thumbs up, leave a comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for another delicious recipe.